In 1968, during the height of the Vietnam War, two American soldiers were stuck in a jungle and it was pouring rain heavily on them. Their commander was using a radio to request help and told them that the rest of the squad had gotten lost from them. Suddenly, the second soldier screamed as he disappeared among the trees. The commander immediately opened fire on him, but didn't hit anything. Terrified, he started running like a madman through the jungle, spotting something moving among the trees. At that moment, a dinosaur pounced on him and killed him. The next morning, in an American camp, a Vietnamese woman was trying to convince the soldiers that a feathered demon had abducted her husband, but of course, no one believed her. At the same time, they had captured a transport vehicle carrying strain containers, and when they did a quick scan, they discovered it contained a highly dangerous level of radiation, with a few bombs exploding near them. A soldier contacted Colonel Jericho to report the vehicle and the squad that disappeared last night. Jericho decided that he must send the Vulture Squad on a rescue mission. In another place, the Vulture Squad was sneaking into an enemy camp, surprising two guards from behind and eliminating them quietly. The snipers took out the man standing in the watchtower from a distance. Now the path was completely clear and they could attack the camp off guard. After that, the squad opened fire as they advanced into the site, killing any enemy who thought to approach them. Since the snipers were covering them from above, it didn't take long, and the squad cleared the entire area. Then they went to check on the prisoners and found 3 of their American comrades dead and 2 others alive, locked in a cage. Suddenly, an enemy soldier who was hiding attacked them, but a sergeant quickly finished him off with a hatchet. Shortly after, helicopters arrived to take them, and the Vulture Squad learned that they had been selected for another mission. Moments later, the Vulture Squad landed at the American camp, holding a tiger in a cage. Jericho told them about the missing squad and the rumors that strange things were happening in that valley. He wanted them to conduct reconnaissance and search for the missing men so they could send planes to evacuate them. When the squad asked for more details, they were told the matter was classified. After that, Jericho took Baker, the leader of the Vulture Squad, aside and asked him to control his men, promising that if everything went smoothly, Jericho would clear some old charges from his file. Inside the main tent, Keyes tried to talk to Stovall about the post-traumatic stress he sometimes had, where his voice got very loud during a mission and one day, that could cause his death. Keyes made him promise to seek help soon. At night, the Vulture Squad moved out by helicopter for their new mission. Suddenly, the helicopter system started beeping, and the pilot said the weapons had malfunctioned, but at least they were still flying and continuing. The squad landed near the jungle, and the first thing they noticed was an animal trail among the trees. The size of the trail confused them because it looked bigger than even an elephant's path. As they began combing the area, they found footprints of a bipedal creature, but they were massive, not matching any known animal. Near them, they discovered an enormous feather, its size matching the footprints. In the end, they found a backpack containing a map marked with Research Station Number 4 and a note saying, "Someone is hunting us." The backpack was lying among a huge amount of spent bullet casings and 2 different types of footprints, so they decided to follow the tracks. After that, the squad ventured deeper into the jungle, noticing something moving among the trees and making strange noises. Suddenly, something grabbed Baker's leg and started dragging him on the ground. Baker quickly opened fire and didn't stop shooting until the strange creature let him go and fled. The rest of the squad ran to check on him and bandage his wounds before they continued. At the same time, a group of Russian soldiers called War Dogs were also in the jungle, searching for the Americans and holding a captive named Conan as their guide. They found some spent bullet casings on the ground and noticed they were still warm, so they ordered Conan to follow the trail. As they moved, they heard strange noises too. The soldier at the back of the line didn't notice a dinosaur hiding in the trees, and the creature quickly bit him with its massive jaws. When the others found his body with his guts spilled out, they thought the Americans did it. Back to the Vulture Squad, they continued their path, discussing the possibility of monsters in the jungle. When they found a massive claw on the ground, they started wondering if they should turn back and pretend they saw nothing. But Baker spotted a piece of a military uniform, so he announced they would continue. After that, they entered a cave and were shocked to find the bodies of the missing squad, torn to pieces by a massive attacker. As they advanced, something in the darkness made a noise, and suddenly, a feathered dinosaur pounced on them. The soldiers ran to hide and started firing at the creatures as fast as possible. The scene turned into chaos and terror in the cave, with the men firing their weapons and killing one dinosaur after another without hesitation. Amid the chaos, Baker and Vern entered a narrow passage and accidentally got separated from the others. The two kept moving through the passage until they exited the cave. They heard sounds indicating more dangerous creatures were nearby, so they started climbing tree branches to escape. A dinosaur quickly found them and tried to snatch Baker, who killed it with a bullet. The sound of the gunfire attracted more dinosaurs, but they couldn't jump high enough, so Baker and Vern kept climbing until they reached the top of the cave. Meanwhile, the rest of the vulture squad managed to exit the cave too. They heard noises in the trees and thought more feathered dinosaurs were about to pounce, so they prepared to fire. But they froze when they saw a giant monster passing by them. After following the tracks for a while, Baker and Vern found themselves in a wide area of the jungle and were shocked to see a massive dinosaur sleeping on the ground, surrounded by skeletal remains of its meals. Suddenly, 3 smaller dinosaurs appeared from behind their sleeping mother, making noises toward the humans, which woke her up. Baker and Vern started running as fast as they could, occasionally turning the fire at the beast's face, slowing it down enough for them to hide in the trees. But the dinosaur found them anyway. The next morning, the rest of the vulture squad crossed a river and took a break, worried about Baker and Vern, but unwilling to return to the dangerous cave. When they heard noises, they were forced to move again. At the same time, Baker and Vern rolled down a valley as the massive dinosaur still chased them. After much running, they managed to hide behind a fallen tree. Baker threw a grenade to distract the creature. Then they continued running until they reached the edge of a high cliff and jumped into the water to escape. The dinosaur fell with them, and in the river, Baker had to drag Vern to the shore because he was unconscious. The dinosaur swam away. At that moment, a woman named Sophia approached and helped Baker move Vern and wake him up. She told them their comrades were likely dead and invited them to her lab. Both squads moved through the jungle, encountering all kinds of dinosaurs in various colors and sizes, sneaking around to avoid them. Key's squad managed to pass by some massive herbivorous dinosaurs, and Sophia took Baker and Vern to Research Station Number 4, where she had been living for over a year. She was the only survivor of her team of scientists. They entered a room, and she barricaded the door, explaining that the building was made of reinforced concrete and steel, making it very safe. Then Sophia injected herself a syringe in her arm, shocking the soldiers, who demanded an explanation. When Vern tried to use a radio, Sophia told him a Russian general named Burden had killed everyone who knew about this place, and she had been living here alone, trying to survive. Apparently, Burden was building a particle collider, and when Vern finally got through the camp, Baker took the receiver and told Jericho everything Sophia said, mentioning the dinosaurs too. He demanded to rescue the rest of his squad and said that if Jericho didn't cooperate, Baker would expose everything he saw. Jericho didn't want to believe the dinosaur story, but ordered his men to search for a massive tooth the forces had brought from the jungle, starting to change his mind. After that, the 3 left the building, hoping to find the rest of the squad and regroup. The rest of the vulture squad crossed an open field when suddenly someone opened fire on them. Keyes fell to the ground with a leg injury. It turned out the Russian war dog squad had found them, and now the vultures had to defend themselves. Sophia and the men heard the gunfire and moved toward it. Both squads kept hiding and firing at each other without anyone achieving anything. Suddenly, the battle stopped because massive flying dinosaurs appeared above them. The soldiers immediately started firing at the creatures instead of each other, trying to find cover. One of the beasts landed in front of a Russian soldier, drove its beak into his stomach, and pulled out his guts. Then all the dinosaurs gathered around to feed. The remaining soldiers took advantage of the situation and fled. The vulture squad carried Keyes and entered the jungle, while the remaining Russian soldiers fired to keep the creatures away before returning to Conan. When they got far enough, the vultures took a break to bandage Keyes' wound. At that moment, Baker's squad found them. The vultures suspected Sophia because she was Russian too. Suddenly, small dinosaurs jumped from the trees, running in circles around them, and even climbing trees to get closer. The soldiers opened fire immediately, killing one beast after another, but more kept appearing, overwhelming them. A dinosaur managed to sneak up from behind and snatch Keyes. After being dragged a bit, Keyes was thrown beside a tree, surrounded by dinosaurs. He hit them with a tree branch to keep them at bay, but a creature jumped on him from above. Keyes managed to push it off and stand, determined to fight, but the dinosaur suddenly ran away. Keyes thought it was over, but a massive predator knocked him down, the one that scared the others. The beast kept stomping on Keyes' body, shaking him and causing more injuries. At that moment, Keyes heard his comrades approaching, reached for a knife, and stabbed the dinosaur in the neck. When the vultures heard the creature scream, they ran and opened fire. The creature fled in fear, and the team rushed to treat Keyes' new wounds. Sophia thought they should leave him and go, but Baker refused. At night, the group reached Sophia's building, and Keyes was placed on a table to receive painkiller injections. Baker noticed Sophia sneaking out of the room and followed her, discovering she was taking another injection because she was an addict. Sophia said the dinosaurs were an accident that could have been stopped. Her husband was a nuclear research scientist, and she was a paleontologist. The Russian army sent them to the middle of the jungle to conduct dangerous particle collider research, supposedly to create a wormhole to invade America. They rushed and skipped steps. The collider malfunctioned, opened a portal to past, and allowed dinosaurs to enter the present. The entire research team was killed except Sophia, who was in the building when Burden's soldiers arrived. Burden abandoned the lab and was now building another collider in the mountains. Late at night, the soldiers saw a dinosaur running beside the building and decided not to shoot to avoid revealing their location. But the dinosaur found a window, and the men had to shoot it in the head. All the noise attracted more creatures, so the vultures ran to their positions at the windows and kept firing their weapons for minutes until the beast disappeared. When something started banging on the door, they fired at it too, but the dinosaur returned to the window, and all the soldiers focused their attack on it. This left an opportunity for another creature to break the door and enter. The vultures worked together to push the beast out and close the door. Then a dinosaur climbed onto the glass roof and smashed it with its head. The men fired at it too, but couldn't keep up with all the dinosaurs at once. Sophia told him about a back door to escape to the dock, but Keyes knew he wouldn't survive and asked him to leave without him. Stovall shared a last cigarette with him before running with the others. When the dinosaurs finally broke in, Keyes activated 2 grenades, and the others saw the explosion, grieving for their friend before boarding the boat. The next morning, the boat was still moving on the river, and Baker told his team about the second collider, agreeing they must destroy it. Sophia tried to warn them about something, but fainted due to withdrawal symptoms. When she woke up, she explained they couldn't bomb the collider because it would destroy the world. Instead, they had to unplug it. The soldiers were fascinated by the dinosaurs in the area, and Sophia took the chance to try stealing another injection. The men tried to stop her, and in the struggle, they dropped the syringe. A dinosaur jumped from the water and took it. Baker yelled at Sophia and gave her cigarettes to help her cope. Stovall saw the aquatic creature reach the shore and eat smaller dinosaurs, but the others didn't let him kill it. After that, Stovall considered ending his life, but Baker stopped him at the last moment, convincing him they needed him. After hours of sailing, the group reached a foggy area. As soon as they disembarked, they found human corpses on the ground. They moved cautiously through the jungle, but the fog blocked their vision, making it easy for a pack of small dinosaurs to jump on them suddenly. Chaos erupted, and the soldiers tried to defend themselves with rifles, knives, and even their hands. When Stovall saw all his comrades getting injured, he lost his mind, screamed, and fired at all the beasts. Then he ran forward to make them chase him, stopped at the river, and kept shooting at the approaching creatures. In the end, he had 1 bullet left, laughed as he heard Keyes' voice in his head, and used the last bullet to end his life. The dinosaurs gathered around Stovall's body to eat it. At night, the team finally reached the Russian base, and Baker contacted Jericho to give him the location. Jericho said it was a secure national site, so they couldn't destroy it or even approach it. Baker pretended there was static in the signal, and that he understood he had permission to act, requesting rescue helicopters before hanging up. The Vulture squad agreed on a plan and started moving, sneaking around the walls and silently killing every guard they encountered, even cutting off heads if necessary. While most of the Vulture squad continued killing Russians, Sophia and Baker slowly approached the main area. They discovered the remaining war dogs had returned, and Conan was angry because she was left with dinosaurs occupying her land. After everything they went through, the war dogs were fed up too and were about to open fire, but other soldiers took them away. As the Vultures began planting explosives around the camp, Sophia and Baker took out the guards and freed the war dogs, who listened to their plan and agreed to help. At the same time, some Russian soldiers saw a small dinosaur approaching, so they killed it immediately, shouting. They soon learned why. The small dinosaur's parents screamed in rage when they saw its body. The enraged beast charged toward the base, destroying everything in their path and killing soldiers who couldn't shoot them in time. They ate some men, slammed into others, and crushed vehicles with their massive feet. Soon, the soldiers surrendered and started running, and the dinosaurs kept snatching them with their large jaws, tossing bodies to each other like they were playing with their food. Burden ran to hide in a building, and Baker's squad tried to catch him, but the creatures kept blocking their path. They hid and waited for a chance to run inside. Amid the chaos, Conan recognized Miller from the Vulture squad as one of the men who killed her family. She pounced on him, starting a fierce fight, but both had to hide under a vehicle when a dinosaur got too close. The beast began destroying tanks too, and Miller hit Conan under the vehicle until he managed to push her away. He tried to escape, but Conan jumped on him again and stabbed him. Miller begged her to forgive him, expressing regret for his actions in the war. In the end, he activated the bombs. The massive explosion killed Miller and Conan, scared the dinosaurs and drove them away. Inside the building, Baker's squad reached a lab and killed a scientist trying to stop them. Seeing this, the other scientists moved out of their way. Sophia started working on disabling the collider. The rest of the Vulture squad joined them, but their reunion was cut short when Burden pulled a gun. Baker shot him first, and Sophia spat on him, refusing to kill him because she wanted to be better. Then Sophia cut a cable, and the power went out in the building, but the emergency generator restored the lights. They noticed Burden had suddenly disappeared. Some dinosaurs appeared in the base to eat the bodies and block the tunnel exit too. The Vultures threw 2 smoke grenades to distract them and opened fire, but there were too many creatures. One of the war dogs fell and was killed in seconds. Burden tried to use a control panel, but was quickly eaten too. The others planted explosives and ran. To stop the dinosaurs from following, one of the Vultures stayed behind to keep firing and died in the explosion. At the same time, Sophia led the survivors to a back door, and they ran as fast as they could because more dinosaurs were coming. The creatures caught one of the Vultures, and his comrades wanted to save him, but it was too late. He was eaten by the beasts. The others had no choice but to run. Soon, they found a ladder, and Baker got them all up, staying behind to cover them. He ran forward as the creatures chased him, throwing grenades behind him, but it wasn't enough to stop them. The beasts jumped on him and killed him too. The remaining group saw the dinosaurs coming after killing Baker, but luckily, they ran fast enough and reached the outside. Jericho was waiting with helicopters and a full team. When they saw the creatures approaching, they all opened fire together, and the helicopters provided cover from the sky, killing the flying creatures that joined the battle. Many soldiers died in the fight, but the team managed to hold on long enough. When the Vulture's explosives destroyed the base, everyone ran to the helicopters to escape. During the flight, Jericho yelled at the team for destroying the device instead of stealing it for America. Sophia explained that it was too late. Destroying the collider had already caused dinosaurs to appear in areas outside the jungle, which have a deadly impact on the entire world. That's the end of the movie, and we'll meet in a new recap. Thanks for watching.